All right. So, welcome to another episode of the Casually Serious podcast with Fazil and Abhinav. And today we have with us a very, very, very special guest, a very good friend of the both of us, mine and Fazil's. And I think he was a classmate of ours from like 6th to 12th grade in various grades between 6th to 12th grade. So, like, we knew each other through our embarrassing days and as well as now becoming adults. I think. Yeah, not to define ourselves as adults because we are still living with our parents right now, but I think just before we began this podcast, we had a couple of interesting memories of each other. Like we were just sharing how we've changed with time,
how we grew.
like how we were reminded of several different people coming and going from in our lives and being our classmates, and how they have changed in their life. What are the kind of things they are pursuing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to have Pranav, man. Uh, I think shortly I'll discuss why I wanted to bring in Pranav, and this was more like, yeah, I think before I begin discussing that, Fazil, what do you think about this? Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, thanks Pranav for accepting our
Yeah.
invitation.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
that
was
is
it was a pleasure.
yeah, and congratulations for your driving license. I recently heard you
Yes,
got a
thank you,
driving
thank you.
license.
Recent and only achievements of
Lockdown
in the last few
achievements.
years.
Yes, I think it's been a lockdown achievement for me and you because even I got my license in lockdown only.
Oh, nice, nice. Congrats,
Yeah.
congrats. We should
Uh,
should go on a trip
so
sometime.
Interesting
we
thing is
should.
we got a driving license within 3 months, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
It
I
was,
got
I
my
think, I
driving
think
license
massive
in.
credits to the trainer. Massive credits to the trainer. I don't think I would have got it with. He
Achha,
was a
shout
nice
out to
guy.
the
Like,
trainer. Shout out to the trainer also.
yeah, like he wasn't. Like, he didn't put pressure on me at any point. So I feel,
Acha.
I don't do that well under pressure. Like,
Okay.
at least when
Okay.
someone's watching you like that.
Right. But
Yeah,
how was the experience for you? How was the journey?
It was good. It was good.
Right.
anyway, moving on, I think I think shortly before even like from the inception of our podcast, I think there was a lot of industry put in with who all guests we wanted to invite. And
Right.
among the first people we wanted to invite one from each of our colleges, from Fazil's and my own college, and then one beginning from from where we grew up all together. And the first person I had in mind was Pranav Joshi. And I'm like, even Fazil was immediately just excited, saying, "हाँ भाई, मतलब एक बार मतलब पूछ लेना." If he says okay, then it's great, because like we got a lot of no's as well. A lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
told no to us. So getting a yes out of the blue was pretty impressive as well. So we were excited that he said yes. ठीक है.
Yeah.
But the point is, I remember growing up, I looked up to Pranav, even though we were in the same age. I think everybody who knows Pranav would probably share this ideal about Pranav being the most meticulous and the most hardworking guy. If you remember
Mm-hmm.
Fazil, like he's the most, he gets snappy about things even if things aren't in system, and he's like
It has
that
to be in
meticulous
system and order.
person.
Uh, I
Yes.
would like to point out there was a point in I think 10th when me and Abhinav used to go to the same tuitions, and Abhinav stopped after like I think he figured out his own way of doing it, what I used to need sort of guidance for. But and I think there was one exam where I remember particularly. I think it was the first like midterm exam in 10th, where I didn't do so well. Like, I didn't do so well compared to what I should have done or how much I had prepared. And
Right.
there was this one comment Abhinav had made, like, I have thought you would have done better. And that point, I had decided, like, damn, like somebody had some expectations for me, and I didn't reach those. And
Yeah,
I
I
was
think.
pretty happy with that result. And that's when I thought that if others are having expectations, I might as well have expectations for myself, like
Yes.
higher expectations for myself.
I think a
Wow.
better way to put that was we were not only competitive with each other, but we had that respect with between us, that it was not the toxic competition between us, but we were equally selfish for each other's benefits as well. Benefit for like trying
Yeah.
to improve our grade and all. I think I shared a lot of that during our SAT exam preparation. And see, we are coming. Oman is a small country, and I mentioned this before as well. And within Oman and Muscat is an even smaller city,
Hmm.
right? The point is, for us, SAT exam and board exam meant everything. It was like it was like an IAS exam for
I
us, if
mean,
you
for
remember.
It
for
was
our
RJE,
scope,
right?
it was quite a lot.
For our
Yeah.
scope, for our limited dreams, it was quite an impressive feat if you nail the SAT exam and all. Because we remember, if you remember, we had these icons in our head. Like you mentioned, there's one person called Aniruddha. If he watches this video, it's
Yeah,
impressive. He was
I mean,
just
I
one
would be
person
happy
I
if he
have in
sees it.
mind. Yeah, I know. He was one person I had in mind. I have a couple of more people in mind who I just purely looked up to, and thinking ki, yeah, I need to model my high school according to the way they have achieved things, right?
Right.
I, everybody has someone like that or the other. Like even Fazal has Anirudh, if you remember.
Abhinav was that person, and this sort of idol thing, he always had it since grade six onwards. In fact,
Yeah, like
he used to say ki, there's this person in my building and he does this very impressive thing and I want to do something like that. And he kept following
yeah,
that. It's not something that kept changing day by day. And that is something, it's impressive because it keeps pushing you to work further,
yeah.
harder. And I remember myself, I never I never had any idols, so I never followed anyone. Okay. But it was always impressive to see that Abhinav, and then there were a few other people also that,
It's
you know,
Pranav's podcast, okay? It's not me.
yeah, I know. But
No,
then
no,
I
no. But
remember,
it goes hand in hand. I mean, we had the same mentality at least when it came to
yeah,
what we wanted to achieve and how we wanted to achieve it.
huh,
Yeah, that's what it's like. We were contemporaries at the same time, but we were like equally concerned for each other's result. I
Yeah,
remember.
it wasn't the ugly competition. It was
Yeah,
right.
and it's like, see, I still remember. I think in our class in our class 12, me and Pranav, we never attended. I never attended any exam, but he was at least attending the exam. I knew I would fail either way.
it was
But
just for namesake. I used to enjoy filling the OMR sheet, so I used to just go there and chill for 3 hours.
I remember us both getting 5 out of 70 in chemistry, and us discussing between us. We were thinking, bro, now how will we do board exam? We are getting five over here.
No, it was a conscious decision at that point to
Uh,
not
to
focus
prepare.
on the school exams, which didn't matter, and to
Yeah,
focus on SAT. But being the first time scoring so low, like I have scored low, but not so low, like, and seeing those marks was just little concerning initially. Like
yeah,
even though we knew we hadn't prepared, it was still quite a shock.
Right.
yeah. Anyway, I think moving on, I haven't addressed why we wanted to invite you. I think a part of us really, like each person, like I mentioned, we were contemporaries and we were equally concerned for each other's success and trying to push ourselves. Like we had that pep buddy between us, right? Like we had that thing going between us. Ki, yes, yeah. See, like if there's always push yourself, it's okay. You can work harder. We had that thinking there's a virtue in pain and all that. We had those ideals between us, right? And there's this those ideas which you can only discuss with a couple of people, because the other people,
Yeah,
any
yeah.
other people, if you discuss, they'll be like, "Ye kya hai? Sankhya hai kya hai?"
Either
They'll
either they don't relate with it, or they get
yeah,
freaked out or weirded out, like about certain thoughts, or
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. And I wish, in retrospect, we had somebody from our juniors whom we could have shared those ideals with, right? At least, I'm not saying we had achieved anything in our life, but then
whatever
that thing
little
was
bit
worked for us, I
that
felt.
we like to consider. No, and we looked up to people, and it was this it was this nice feeling thinking that someday somebody might look up to us, and
Yeah,
Huh.
that was what we didn't get, especially because
Which
uh,
which we'll get,
I don't
which
know
we
whether
should
it was
get
the
eventually.
juniors who didn't get in touch, or it was us who didn't get in touch. Also, it could be like their admissions happened during COVID times, and it was not
yeah,
exactly easy to get in touch and every full.
But you see, it's Do you see, it's like
Fingers messed up.
when you look up to someone, right? It's not like they'll text you and tell you, hey, listen, buddy, I'm getting inspired by you, so I'll be in contact with you. And now it's not like that, right? Whatever they do, it's always a little secretive. I'm sure like some of the people that you might have looked up to or someone,
That's
you
what I
never
hope. That's what
informed
I
them.
hope that there is somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
Hope that there is somebody.
yeah.
So yeah, I think one question. Now that I was reminded of this, like I mentioned, Oman is a small country, and within Oman, Muscat, we've been living in Muscat. It's a very small city. What were your? I think we had a couple of interesting takes in the way we were brought up in Oman, right? I remember you grew up a part of your life. You were in Egypt, and because your dad was there, and then after that you came back to like you lived in a couple of countries in Middle East, and then you finally settled in Oman, and you were like born and brought up in Oman. I think what worked for us in Oman. I think we have a very similar opinion about this, and uh, the crux of this podcast is going to be what really worked for us in Oman. The culture shock that we faced was different in India. We can accept that, but what really worked for us in Oman, like that really
Yeah.
was we were able to benefit back once we went back to India. Yeah.
But Pranav, before we address that question, first tell all of us, where are you studying right now? What are you
Yeah.
doing? What branch are you doing?
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm studying in NIT Trichy right now, doing mechanical engineering.
Mhm.
And I mean, I say I'm doing mechanical engineering, but I don't actually know what I'm doing. But hopefully, we'll figure it out in the future.
That is just Pranav being sweet. This is how he
He's
was in
modest, man. He's
yeah,
remarkably modest.
yeah, yeah. But go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And that's it for me. If you want to know about my college life, it's pretty much hectic because of I know I like playing football and I'm in the
Right.
team, so it's practices and classes and labs, and it's pretty hectic. There's
Hmm.
nothing other than running between classes and practice. It's
Right,
Right.
it's a continuous cycle.
right. And how was
Yeah.
like now that Abhinav initiated with a question of the culture that came in, like the difference of the culture that was here in Oman and Muscat, plus the culture that you felt there, the culture shock that you felt once you're going there. First of all, did you even feel a culture shock, or were you able to gel very nicely with people, or was it easier for you?
No,
Was it a process, or how was it?
gelling with the people, I think, was not so much of an issue if you leave out a couple of incidences that I think like misunderstandings and a few arguments here and there happen with people. But
Right.
as such, culture shock I didn't have. It was more of the people and the competitiveness that I noticed over there. I think cultural shock, I think Abhinav felt that much more than I did, because
Okay.
I've talked to him, and Delhi was a much like it seemed like a more drastic cultural shock for him compared to how I had it. But the
Right.
competitiveness I felt was huge. Like I think Muscat being so small, and it was pretty limited. It was like living in a bubble, and you move out of that bubble and you get to know the competition and how people actually slog and
It's
study.
hard.
And
It's hard just being knowing that you were a topper all your life and then उधर जाके
yeah,
कुछ उखाड़ा नहीं
I,
It's
उसने.
a
when
world
you
of
notice
toppers.
that you were like ranking wise, at least I wouldn't I don't think exams compare intellect, but at least studies academics wise, when you were in top 15 20 as school ended, and you go and you notice you're in the bottom 15 20 in the class, that's when life hits you. And it was, I mean, I would say that was one of my recent rock bottoms, like when I was
Right.
in college, realizing that pretty much at the bottom of the class.
So I can say like not a cultural shock, but an academic shock was quite strong on you.
Academic shock, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but then also coming from Oman to NIT Trichy, now that you said, what are some things that you were like, oh, good, this thing happened in Oman, and this is something that
Yeah.
taught me in advance to be prepared for this college or something.
The main thing I noticed was how people, it's not a bad thing, but people usually stick to their communities. Like there's a lot of, there are groups and for celebrating festivals and for various things, like people hang out with their people from the same state, speaking the same language. And that segregation is, a lot of that is there in college. Like you'll see the people from Kerala hanging out together. Maharashtrians, I've noticed, me being a Maharashtrian, I've noticed they hang out together. But that
Right.
one thing about Muscat was that I have met people from all over India, like since I was like I think 5 or 6 years old, since I came
In the
to
school. Yeah.
Oman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, going there and having friends, like having Gujarati friends, Rajasthani friends, to South Indians, to even like Assam, Meghalaya, it wasn't so much of a task for me, while other people found it very difficult because they had been living in the same state, talking.
Yeah.
They people prefer conversing in their mother tongue and talking to friends, while for me it was English most of the time. And that was one good thing I felt, that I could connect with people and I didn't find it
Yeah.
awkward talking to
I think
people from
I
different.
think in retrospect it was more like we were more inviting to other people from coming from other cultures, right?
Yeah.
We were inviting, and I think
And
I would have been, yeah,
I got comfortable with them like much faster than they did with other people.
their own, yeah, correct, correct.
Right.
Basically, I think now that I know that you're doing some like you are involved in a lot of events and trying to handle a lot of events in NIT Trichy, I realized that I think that communication aspect of being like however limited in ISM, you were able to leverage that to your benefit and do things in NIT Trichy,
It
right?
was limited in ISM, but overall, it prepared you to handle that. And communication and the other soft skills like managing people was, I don't think it gets enough credit. How much, how much, how much our environment
I
in
think
Muscat helped us to prepare
important
for
to
that.
address it's important to address that you were a Blue House guy. You were like the guy behind Blue House, like everything from eighth grade, from sixth grade or fifth grade or something. He's been a part of every event of Blue House and how to handle the Blue House thing. Yeah,
Yeah. By the way,
it
Blue
deserves
House,
merit.
for people who
Deserves
don't
merit.
know, Blue House is it's a group of
Yeah,
students like that. We have 4 houses. Blue House is one of them, which Pranav was like a spokesperson of a Blue House almost.
yeah.
So even though he might not be the captain or something, he had the badge inside of him rather than having on his on the t-shirt or something like that. So I still remember how he was concerned about the team Blue House team winning and everything. But
Yeah. Talking about people management, like it brings back memories when me and Fazil had single-handedly managed the entire Jhankar spectrum, which is like a cultural this thing. It's a
right,
cultural
it's a cultural
fest
event
in
at our
ISM.
school. Yeah,
Yeah, where people from different schools are invited, and it's a competition for like two
like an
days. And
inter-school
I remember
competition. Yeah,
Fazil and me had managed the entire food section, which was in the
I
basement, like
yeah,
directing
Went to
people
Dwight
and
Schrute.
making sure there wasn't any crowding. And that was one like really nice memory with Fazil, which I have.
yeah. That was. Do you mean that was the only memory with Fuzzle that you had, or?
I mean, recently we've met up, so we are
Ah,
building on it. We are building on
yeah,
it.
yeah. But that
That
just
was
talking
one. That
about
was
that
one with
experience.
exclusively Fazil.
Yes, but and that was the experience. That was one of the experiences we learned quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, these small things helped a lot. Like
Yeah, you
like
you realize
you
this
can't draw a
only when you
direct
put them
link.
to use.
Yeah, you can't draw a direct link from about like from that event to what it taught me, but
Huh.
somewhere along the lines, unspoken things, they helped develop soft skills.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah,
those like events like those or experiences like those. It's not like you had that experience today and tomorrow now you're already putting into use, but it eventually
Yeah,
helps you
down
into
the
like.
line, 5, 10 years later.
Acha. Yeah, 5, 10 years later. But then, just generally, how is it going for you in the college? And is it comfortable for you, or are you having a struggle time? Are you doing good in college? How has lockdown affected college?
Initially, it was, as I mentioned, the academic shock was there, but I learned to cope up with it and realized that you can't always be on top, and there will be people who are,
Right.
and there will be people who are putting more effort than you. And with my time, like me prioritizing football over a part of the study time, because practices you have to give time.
Right.
I realized that the results are going to be in proportion, and there are people who are putting in more time and will obviously get more deserved results. But other than that, I think like off late before quarantine happened, off late I had started to settle in and get used to it.
Huh.
And if you ask how this is affected in terms of academics, it's been going great because the by hearting part is removed out of the equation.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
that part, like since all have become open book assignment, open book tests, it's been much better.
So
And
you're
I think
back to
grades
the
have
top
also gone up.
15. So you're
No,
back
I
to the
wouldn't say top 15.
top.
I wouldn't say top 15. I'm mid range.
Right. Nice. So you've completed 2 years of your course right now, right? Out
Yeah.
of the 4 years.
Hopefully. I mean, fourth semester results are not yet out.
Acha. Okay. And so I know you said that you're doing mechanical engineering, but what are some of your goals after you finish this particular mechanical engineering course?
Well, goals as in I'm planning to do hires for sure, but a specialization in hires is still being decided because, I mean, the syllabus from NIT Trichy is quite traditional, and the first 3 semesters go in a lot of common subjects, and you don't really get to know your department or your branch as such. Like since fourth semester, the core subjects have slowly been starting. So in terms of mechanical, I haven't decided what exactly, but that is still that is being decided along the way.
One
Right.
question, when you mentioned traditional, what do you mean by traditional syllabus? I think what makes it in like it's what makes it slightly back in your opinion?
Now, traditional, I'm saying this based on comparing it with triple IT because I've heard a lot from Abhinav. Starting with, they had core subjects, way more core subjects and stuff related to the department from the first year itself. While I was
Yeah.
having the traditional in the sense we had the common physics, chemistry, maths.
Yeah.
The
Well, yeah.
it for the first year, almost everyone has common syllabus. Like
Right.
that, you aren't learning anything separately in departments. Like even
Yeah.
if I sit in another department's class, it's not going to affect my education in first year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I think
think in that sense,
same is the case in the US as well in the States, where the first year is almost common to most students. And I think the major reason to that is because a lot of people change their mind to shift to another stream or another bracket almost. And that's why they keep it common. Is that also the reason why it is same for you, like the core subjects are similar for you in your college, or
No,
is
I
it?
don't think internal shifting of branches is not that much of a thing. Though
Right.
some people try it, but I
Yeah.
think it's just a matter of a time before they update the courses, the how the courses are planned. But as of now, it's not been updated. I can say it because I know from Abhinav's triple IT experience and another friend of mine who is in VIT. I noticed that their syllabus was much more updated, and
Okay.
this first year common subjects was not a thing for them.
Oh, okay.
I think mine to address that, it's because my college is a very unidimensional university. It's completely ruthlessly, to put it in right words,
Mm-hmm.
focused into computer science, right? And NIT is more of a university because mine is not a university, it's still an institute. NIT, despite having the institute in the between, it's still a university because you are getting offered humanities courses, you're getting offered so many different a
Right.
wide range of things, right? So I think trying to stick middle ground is going to be hard there. So
Yeah, it's not their fault. It's very difficult to bring about changes in syllabus, at least such drastic changes.
yeah, so when I think it's hard to reinvent the wheel all the way
Yeah,
again. So I think चलने दो चलती का नाम गाड़ी हो गया वो.
I mean, any change, like no change is welcomed. Most of the time, there is always going to be somebody against it. So
Right.
Right. But also I feel like the
that's another
changes,
reason.
yeah, but also I feel like
Yeah,
the
yeah, go on.
changes that like in terms of syllabus or course, right? I think because NIT is it's a huge chain of colleges, right? And where I can say triple IT has what, one or two branches, right? And my university
More
has
than
like
that,
one
but
branch.
yeah, the more famously known ones are Hyderabad, Delhi.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
to be honest, if you ask me for a third one, I mean, I'm not sure.
Right, right. Even I'm not known about. But I think NIT has such a huge chain of colleges in different states of India that changing a particular course could affect like the other courses in different states or something like that. Maybe that could be one of the
Yeah,
reasons.
it's again governed by and I wouldn't say governed by the same body, but if one college changes their syllabus, it becomes there are colleges who try to maintain the same level of syllabus and the same
Right.
subjects to try and offer the same quality of education. So yeah, everyone would have to do it at the same time.
Right. Acha, tell me this one thing. Right. We were all in school back in 11th and 12th, right? And we all were asking each other where do we plan to go after 12, right? And for us, actually, at least for Indians, it was a little different for us because when we said a particular college, let's say for NIT, let's just take an example of NIT, right? We never said we wanted to go to the specific states of like those specific branches of NIT, right? Like let's say NIT Trichy or NIT Surat or whatever, right? And not in the other parts of the India where we were like, we don't want to reach there. We want to go to the best NIT schools. So give us a little insight on how does a place affect a college? You know, how choosing that particular place could affect the same school, but in a different place could affect your studies or something.
I wanted to ask, now that Fazil asked a very nice question, I wanted to ask one more question. What I wanted to ask was, there was this mental pressure ki yes, you have to get a very good NIT back in our school. If you remember, they're like yes, if you're aiming for India, it goes without saying, you apply for these set
Yeah.
number of colleges. Otherwise, you're a loser if you apply for any. You know those colleges. I'm not going to name those colleges. Otherwise,
Yeah, but it was I think a bad notion, and it was like, we shouldn't have assumed it based on stories we had heard.
Right.
yeah,
But again, coming back to the question, how does location affect the the same college, the same brand, but a location matters a lot in picking up a college. How
Yeah,
does that work?
location affects hugely. Like I, not for the podcast purpose, but the number of talks me and Abhinav have had, I have drawn a lot of comparisons and conclusions from it. So
Right.
I'll be taking that same example again.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead.
like Delhi for I think Abhinav's college is not isolated. It's like in the middle of the city, and you have to traverse, meet with people, be a part of Delhi to
Right.
when you're studying there. But for me, on the other hand, I leave the campus, I guess once a month, because my campus is about 23 to 24 kilometers away from the city,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like forests and fields in between, and there is nothing. It's almost there's like no
Right.
people living on the way, and there's no shops, nothing. So it's either the city or the college. And since it's such a like by going by bus takes about 1 hour, so it's such a tedious thing. Prefer not to, since everything is
Wait, you
available in
said you
college.
said there are no shops or any like a departmental store
I
or
heard
something like
there are
that.
buffaloes running all the time in
Yeah.
NIT.
No, I'm saying there were no shops along, like in between, like no place you can stop in between. So it's either
Right.
the city or campus. On campus, we have a shopping complex and everything that you need. Paid
Oh,
canteens, they have
nice.
dhabas around college, but
Hospital now.
that's why you don't have to leave the college area. Like within one
Right.
kilometer, you have everything.
Oh, that's
I
good.
heard
So
there
for me,
are running.
location didn't matter. You put this campus in the middle of Africa, and it won't matter because I wouldn't know what's going on in the outside world. To be honest, COVID was, we didn't know the extent to which it had happened in the rest of the world. Staying in Trichy, and being a exam time that time, we weren't updated. Wasn't We
Right.
weren't keeping track of the news,
Mm-hmm.
and I think when lockdown started in few places, that's when we got to know that stuff is really serious. Till then, we thought it was just a thing that's going to come by and
Yeah,
go.
it won't touch your place.
You're
Yeah, yeah.
very disconnected. For me, I'm very disconnected with the world when I'm in college. It's like another small bubble over there. You don't
Was it
have to
how
interact
you
with them.
was it how you framed yourself into, or was it the entire campus that frames every other student who gets into here will
I wouldn't
be
say everybody. There are day scholars. My roommate Govind, his mother and his brother live in Trichy,
Okay.
so he
yeah.
he keeps coming and going. So, and there are a few people who visit the city quite a lot, but I would
Right.
say 80 to 85% it's isolated from the city. It's
Nice.
just campus. So
It's worth noting Tiruchirappalli or Trichy is like this most cleanest city in India, if I'm not wrong. I was just
yeah,
reminded of that.
yeah. And on campus also, it's a very simple life. Like motorized vehicles are not allowed, so everyone's roaming around on cycles or walking. And in
Oh,
terms of that, if you look at it, you have those concepts. I mean, this is a very bad comparison to draw. I don't mean to trash on the other rest of the world, but it's like those safe zones in zombie movies where you're disconnected from the world. There is boundaries, and everything inside is. It's a
right.
simple life.
Yeah, I just
Self-sustained,
want to
yeah.
say, I just want to say, Pranav called all of us zombies. He's the only
That's
sane
I didn't
human.
mean to. I didn't mean to. I'm just saying in terms of being disconnected, it's that way.
Huh.
There's no other way to
But you
put it.
said you mean to say that all of these things helped you in a way, right? For your like, did
Yeah,
it
yeah,
help
it
you?
is good. It is good.
Yeah,
I don't know how well I would have done with a lot more distractions. Had my college been in the city,
right,
Trichy in that way, entertainment there is nothing. Like for me at least, cinemas are also not an option because I don't understand Tamil. And
right,
but other than that, like if you talk about entertainment as like bowling alleys and skating and the general entertainment
right.
arcades and
I got it.
stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
that's not a thing for me. So it helps you focus if you want to.
yeah. You talked about not watching movies or cinema because Tamil is the main spoken language there. Was that something like a barrier that came in between your language, or was it like English was good enough to keep in contact with most people there?
No, most of the people know English. The only times I felt the lack was when I was in the city. Like I say we don't go a lot, but like per
Huh.
semester, like in 3 months, like 5, 6 times we end up going for eating and if you need to buy something that's not available on campus, like clothes.
Right.
There were a couple of times where I did find it difficult. Like I bought shoes once and they broke the next day,
Okay.
the football shoes, and I had to get them replaced
Acha.
with I think a person who was like 2 to 3 years elder than me. He was
Huh.
handling the shop and he had no clue how to speak English or Hindi, and
Right.
I didn't know anything about Tamil. So, but I did manage. Like I did manage to get them exchanged. That is
Huh.
one thing I tell a lot of people. Like I count it as an achievement, getting
Right.
those exchanged and bargaining with him and getting it done. It's not
Okay.
that much of an issue.
Right. Do you know any
It's
word in
manageable.
Tamil or something? Any word in Tamil?
No, I mean, whatever few phrases that I knew have faded over the past 1.5 years because I
Yeah.
haven't been around people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanted to ask something, okay? Is this true? Like buffaloes running around in Trichy?
Yeah. That is very true. My hostel room is facing like it's our campus is basically a forest. In between, you'll find like you can't see all the buildings at any one point. You will have to know
Huh.
where the building is to go there. So it's like in between a lot of patches where there is just forest and there's I think 120 buffaloes and cows together in the campus. So like you're studying one afternoon, you're completing journal or something. Windows are open. I can see like there's trees. Like there's basically like forest view for me. I'm on the ground floor and like buffaloes just running past, peacocks running past, snakes are there. It's like yeah, that nature factor is also there. It's very
So
close to
basically,
nature.
you're studying in a wildlife sanctuary. Is that what you're saying?
Almost like that.
And we are the
Almost like that.
zombies outside the world.
I mean, on the way to the mess and all, we have seen snakes, so
Right.
Huh?
it's quite the life. Yeah.
But okay, now that you said about all this, is it like safe living in a dorm room? I knew this other friend of yours who was in NIT Trichy,
Yeah.
right? Brahadish, and I
Yeah,
know
he's
he
my
posted.
classmate. Yeah.
Yeah, and he posted a story on Instagram, where a dog came into his room and slept on his roommate's bed automatically, and he noticed it after he woke up, after Brahadish woke up.
Not about bed. A dog used to chill in my room also. Like we used to feed it. Like from mess, we used to sneak in rotis and all, and we used to on the way we used to feed the dogs. And
Acha.
there was this two very friendly dogs, and one of them, I think, when it was about to give birth, it used to like find a safe spot in my room. And we
Mm-hmm.
had exams that time, so classes were also stopped. So I used to study in the morning. It used to come and chill under my bed. Like I used to give it water and used to sleep under my bed for like 3 4 hours.
Huh.
So yeah,
Nice. So
like we almost tamed them, and then there were new puppies and all. Like we were quite worried about them, what will happen during COVID, because no one's there to take care. But we
so
literally almost raised those dogs, almost raised
that's so
them.
sweet, dude. That's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
an
it's
experience
very
of
fun.
its own, right?
And
Yeah.
what makes it more interesting is dogs are not allowed in the hostel. So we used to distract the guards to try and sneak the dogs in.
Right.
So like the crime was like, it was basically crime because there was huge fines if animals are found in rooms, but it was still fun. Like that
Right.
added more fun to it.
Coming from Muscat, because Muscat is it's less of a like a village place, at least from where we all grew, right? And more of a town, almost a city, I can say, at least in
Mm.
the particular space that we studied in the school we studied.
Developing town
Still a
slash
Yeah,
city.
developing town. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not
And that
full yet.
transition, you going to that place, right? Would you say that village sort of vibe or the forest sort of vibe is something that you could was I don't know how to put it in words, but was it something you
Yeah,
were like, oh,
it did good for me. It did good for me.
yeah? And
That's
were
what
you
I said.
prepared for
If
it?
you
Were
put,
you prepared for it?
there was nothing to prepare for. I would have to be more prepared had I been going to a college which was closer to the city, because the distractions would be more, and I would have to
Yeah,
interact with a lot of people as in the locals and other people living in the city, non-student population, which I
yeah.
don't have to now. And that is like, this has been good for me, and that is one thing I have not experienced. So my next step, I think, would be somewhere closer to the city where I do
Okay.
get to live the city life as well. I want to expose myself to that at
So
some
you would,
Great.
point.
so I could say that you would recommend anyone to come to NIT Trichy over the other branches of
Yeah,
NITs.
unless it is still a big step going to college, especially if you have no JE preparation
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
Yeah.
It is a huge step. So I think NIT Trichy was, in that way, didn't pose those challenges of interacting with non-student population and the city life. In that way, it's anyways a huge step, but this is a still smaller step compared to, I think, what Abhinav had, or other people, few friends who I know in Chennai. It's
Yeah.
I want
comparatively
to
a
ask
smaller
you
step.
something. I think like now that like coming like we were just talking a while back about Oman and being a developing town, and Oman being a very developing country still, and it's still, people are slowly being aware of what kind of a country Oman is,
Yeah,
because I think growing up it's been so hard for us to identify ourselves being from such a different country and trying to at the same time being identified as an Indian, because you're trying to you're having a conflict of choices here, because you
yeah,
can neither assimilate into either culture completely. We have not completely assimilated into either culture, because
yeah,
even
yeah.
in BTech we are doing it from Oman now.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. Yeah.
not been such a
There
good
was a
thing.
huge dilemma when seniors and all ask you to introduce yourself. And
Yeah,
when the question comes to where you are from, I'm confused whether I should say Maharashtra, or should I say Muscat, or should I say Oman, or somewhere near Dubai. Like most
Dubai.
of the people don't even know where Oman is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
What
Abu
was your
Dhabi and
answer
Dubai.
then? What was your answer?
It is very mixed, depending. Like I try and judge the people,
You judge
judge
Depending
as
on
in
the
like
knowledge
try
of the
and
person.
yeah, try to see if they would know. But I've said Muscat most of the times. Few people
Right.
have come back and asked me like, where is Muscat? And then I've had to give them a rough idea of where it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
wanted to ask you
we
something. I think.
go
So
ahead.
sorry. I wanted to ask you something, and this now that before it slipped my mind. Growing up in ISM, I think I've seen you the entire. We have seen each other the entire time, and I think I wish I asked this sooner. What do you think really worked? What do you think actually what benefited you was the soft skills that we gained, not exactly the grades that we achieved, but it was the
Mm.
soft skill that we gained and how to deal with growing up in a pan-Indian experience. We were able to deal with different cultures at the same time. What do you think? I'm very curious with your opinion over here. What do you think should have been better? Like there are so many different things that we wish were better, but then what do you think ISM could
Um,
have done much better? And we were completely lacking in that.
I think the only thing is competition. I feel like it is nothing that can be blamed on ISM.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's not like you can blame the school for not having competition. It's just the fact that you're living as an expat in a country where not a lot of people prefer coming. Like for a
Right.
person who's never heard of the country, unless it's absolutely necessary, I don't think people are going to choose it.
But coming back to the point, I think one last question before we wrap up the podcast.
Yeah.
What is one takeaway you would give to the ISM students or the students from Oman or students coming to NIT or students taking mechanical engineering? One one piece of advice you would like to give, generalizing to all juniors coming to college.
Yeah.
To anyone who might listen to this and is looking to choose a college, I would say it's a very decent choice, NIT Trichy or anywhere in India for that matter. And the reason I think Abhinav and I have talked about it, why we chose India, when for me, like thankfully financial thing wasn't an issue, and I had the option of going abroad for undergrad as well. But I chose India consciously because I felt it would be much lesser cultural shock compared to if you went abroad. I think Fazal would know more about this.
Right.
Um, but I feel it's a good step, and the Indian system of education puts you through a lot. Not necessary things that you appreciate at when you're studying, but things you'll appreciate later. In terms of competition, and when you've gone through hell, you can handle most of the things.
Correct.
Right.
That was one reason why I chose India, and I don't think colleges matter as much. I feel the non-education part, like stuff like the professors' qualifications and facilities that decide ranking. So it doesn't matter which college, but if you want to choose and want to live through an experience which will prepare you for life, India is a very good choice.
Right.
This is mostly addressed to the NRAs. I think
Yeah.
one
This
more
is mainly
takeaway
for
would
them,
be
yes.
one more takeaway would be, I think a pedigree is always important. Like a pedigree from a very good college, right? Now that you're doing it in NIT Trichy, I'm doing it in SFI Delhi. There's always that pedigree that I was able to benefit from because of the crowd. Like the crowd is competitive that you mentioned, but if you went to a slightly inferior college, slightly you would have, owing to different distractions, you could have it would have been a slightly different choice. But I think
Yeah.
a pedigree is always going to be a big game changer. Like if you do it in the right NIT, you're going to make it big.
The people you
Maybe,
meet,
yeah,
the connections that you make, yeah.
yeah.
Right.
So in that sense, I think my opinion would be slightly different with trying to say yes, a good city, a
Yeah,
good
obviously, if you go to a reputed college with a reputed name, the networking that you're going to have even later on after leaving the college is going to matter a lot. If you're
Yeah.
going for a college, obviously prefer NITs, and that doesn't have to be the top one. You can go for a little lower one, and I don't see any difference in
yeah,
I have compared with my friends in Surat.
yeah,
I have compared with my friends in Surat, the same department, same course. The
yeah,
course, like the teaching wise, there's not much of a difference. And
Yeah. So the idea is always that you have to improve as a personality, but it's not the institute. And I think we had this sort of conversation with a few other guests as well. And one of the guests also told us that institute or school is a tool. Use it as a tool and get whatever you want to achieve. Do that.
correct.
So,
yeah,
so
going into an institute doesn't guarantee a good future.
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
it's about
Right.
what you make of it.
Yeah. But again, thank you, Pranav, for joining the podcast. And thank you for coming. And thank you for sharing such great thoughts, great insights. And I think I
It
never
was-
knew so much about
it was
NIT
really
as I never knew so much about
Hmm.
NIT at all, as much as I learned in the last 45-50 minutes. So yeah, thank you for coming again. Thanks.
Yeah,
thanks
it
for
was
accepting
a
my
pleasure.
invitation.
It was a
yeah.
pleasure.
I want to thank you because I think there was this question which I felt was required to be addressed without me asking, and you addressed it. this was something I want to thank you in particular, where you mentioned why we chose India as an undergrad location.
Right.
Perhaps we could have another episode with Hatem or something over this, but that requires a whole big
That requires
debate
separate
altogether.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are looking forward to
both
that.
both the things offer different things, and it depends on what state of mind you're in.
Yeah.
For me, I felt India would be the right choice.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. That's good.
Right. But thank you for joining the podcast. Thank you for coming, and everyone's watching. Thank you if you made it till the end. Thank you for watching the
Yeah.
video. Thank you for hearing the podcast, and we'll
Yeah.
see you in the next episode with a new guest.